Hello and good morning. Here we go. 'Cause I love you. So, today, the fascinating subject on my mind is demonstration. And I'm not talking about demonstrations like demonstrations and protests and things like that. I'm actually talking about the demonstration of who you are when nobody's looking. And in fact, who you are when everybody is looking, right? Because right now there's like a lot of this dissonance that I can sometimes feel as I'm trying to get on here, projecting myself in social media. I have a public outside presence. I have an internal feeling of who I am. And then I'm trying to match the two. This can be difficult because most people have been raised to measure how they're being and who they are by outside influences against outside events and circumstance in comparison to other people, as opposed to how do you really feel on the inside about yourself when you wake up before the mind starts worrying, or at night when you're about to go to sleep. And this is a tricky thing because there's layers and layers and layers of outside stuff, outside people, opinions, a social self, an individual self that cloud one's ability to see who they really are. And my effort in life in gaining more power is to sit comfortably in who I am with stillness and to not have it be about my show self or my ego or getting attention. And this is tricky, right? Because we all have a personality, and we have a personality that's learned how to be that personality by interacting with other people. But what I'm trying to get at is this place when that interaction becomes disingenuous and it becomes something that causes dissonance because my demonstration, who I want you to think I am, who I'm trying to be out there, doesn't match up. And then I end up fighting or working against what I'm experiencing out there and trying to make myself okay because I'm really not okay with what's happening in here. And this can be sometimes tricky stuff because it's not easy to understand who you are, how you are, without some effort, without some building of self-awareness, without some work on an internal sense of consciousness and higher being and God, if you want to call it that. So, and here's an example. When somebody, for example, says to me, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Let's just say that, I had an incident with somebody a while back and something went wrong and we were hashing it out. And I think she used the word of like, it was disrespectful. Something I said or did was disrespectful, or something I said or did was judgmental. Use any of those words. Those words in and of themselves harbor a blame on the other person. And I'm not trying to renege on my sense of responsibility of possibly having been judgmental or disrespectful. But for me, if you do something and my first MO is to be like, well, that was disrespectful, I have to actually look at how I'm respecting myself in the relationship or in the interaction. I have to actually ask myself, what kind of level of respect am I showing to this other person, or am I expecting from this other person? Because we're not put on this planet to respect me. I give respect, I show respect as much as I can with how honest I'm being. And the idea is that I'm hoping to get it back, but I'm not looking for it. I hold the door open for you. I don't need you to say thank you. And I'm not worried if you drop it in my face. So this is more about deciding that I want to be a certain way because it's just the way I want to be. And again, it's not always easy because these things like feeling judged, feeling disrespectful are a big part of how we're evolving. I'm trying to think of the better way to explain that, which is to say that I don't like the feeling of being judged or disrespected, but sometimes what happens is I can't really know where I'm at or how I need to grow until I get that feeling that somebody's disrespecting or judging me. But if I sit only in that and be like, well, you disrespected me or you judged me, and I don't look at what really feels disrespectful or judgmental in myself, like let's say that you don't like something about the way that I look, and maybe I'm unsure of how I want to look. And so I just go straight to, well, you're being judgmental because you're saying this about my hair or my body or what have you. And in fact, I'm not really sure what I want from my hair and my body. And so the more centered I get in me, the more powerful I feel about who I am and how I want to be and how I want to express myself, the less I experience that dissonance when you come at me with a certain script or a way of being that I don't like or doesn't feel good. And that's what we're trying to do here. Everything about what I'm saying is all about how do you feel better? How do you do better? How do you live better? How do you answer to yourself and your own conscious contact or higher being so that you can live a good life and not be disrupted by all these things going on out there that can really mess you up in the head. So that's where we're at today. It's about dissonance and discord and depending on yourself and a higher power. And we'll be back on Monday. Hope you all have a good weekend.